English for gentle minds.
A space for calm clarity and meaningful conversations.
So, Brittany, quick question. When was the last time you burned something in the kitchen?
Ha! 2 nights ago, tried to grill chicken, ended up making charcoal. Does that count?
Absolutely, welcome to the club. But hey, that's the secret. Every mistake in the kitchen is a win if you're learning something.
Or if you're not setting off the fire alarm. But seriously, cooking is wild. It's one of the few things that's totally normal to mess up and still call it a success.
Exactly. And here's the twist. Cooking might just be the best way to learn English. No textbooks. No exams. Just heat words and hands.
Wait, are you saying frying eggs can teach you grammar?
Well, kind of, if you listen close. And today, we're going to show how.
Okay, now I'm curious. I mean, I've followed recipes in English, but never thought of it as language learning.
That's the thing most people don't, but cooking is packed with natural English, real verbs, everyday phrases, repetition. Perfect for beginners.
So it's like a secret English lesson in your frying pan?
Exactly. You learn words like chop, boil, mix. Not in theory, but in action. You hear them say, them do them. That's real learning. Hey, everyone, welcome to Gentle Minds, the podcast, where we slow down, zoom in, and help you build real English one conversation at a time.
And this episode is all about cooking. Not just food, but how it helps you learn English by doing. We'll look at methods, tools, tasty verbs, and spicy phrases.
There's also a fun debate coming. Brittany thinks baking is the best way to learn English.
Because it is, baking has rules. It's like grammar with sugar.
But I think stir fry is the real teacher. Fast, wild, and totally forgiving.
Ooh, this is gonna get crunchy. Okay, John, I still don't get how stir-frying a bell pepper helps me speak better. English.
Let's break it down. When you cook, you're actually using English in the most natural way. No memorizing, just doing. It's language in motion.
Give me an example.
All right, let's say you're making pasta. What's the first step?
Boil water.
Exactly. That's a verb. Boil. Then you add salt. Then you stir. Then you drain. 4 strong action words in just one recipe.
Oh, wow, that's true. And those are real words you'd use every day. Not some weird textbook sentence like the monkey rides a bicycle.
Right? You learn language that you can actually use. And more importantly, you hear it say. Repeat it. That's how your brain gets it.
So you're saying the brain picks up patterns when it hears the same stuff again and again?
Exactly. Repetition builds muscle memory not just for your hands, but for your mouth too.
Okay, but what about grammar? Isn't that important?
Totally. But the cool thing is, grammar lives in these little patterns. Think about it. You say, I am cooking, or it is boiling. That's grammar. But it feels natural when you're actually cooking.
So instead of studying rules, you just kind of feel it?
Yes. You pick it up by doing. Like when you say, I'm chopping onions, your brain remembers the whole chunk, not each word by itself.
Oh, so instead of learning, I am in chopping and onions as 3 different things, your brain saves the whole sentence?
Exactly. That's why cooking is gold for learners. It gives you real, repeatable, useful English in context.
This is kind of blowing my mind. Because I always thought learning English meant reading books or watching movies. I didn't think frying eggs could teach me chunks.
It does. And get this, you don't even need a recipe book. Just listen to cooking videos in English. You'll hear, now we stir. Then we add. Don't forget to preheat over and over.
Okay, but what if I burn the food?
Even better. You'll learn the word burned.
Haha. So mistakes are just new vocabulary?
Always. Every mistake in the kitchen gives you another word. Oops, I overcooked it. I forgot to grease the pan. This is undercooked. Boom. More words.
Okay, I'm starting to see it. Cooking is like a live English class with snacks.
Exactly. It's real, it's messy, and you can taste your progress.
All right, so tell me this. What's the one dish every English learner should try cooking?
Pancakes.
Why?
Simple steps, clear actions, and lots of chances to use fun words like whisk, flip, and drizzle.
Plus, they're delicious.
Obviously.
Right, John, I grabbed a pen. Hit me with the good stuff. What are the best cooking words for learning English?
Okay, let's start simple chop. That's one of my favorite verbs. You chop vegetables, chop herbs, chop garlic.
I like it. Sounds sharp.
It is. And it's short, clear, and visual. That's a perfect kind of word for your memory. Your brain links it to the motion.
Like a sound effect. Chop, chop.
Exactly. Now pair that with dice. It's similar to chop but more exact. Dicing means small, even squares.
So chopping is a little wild. Dicing is neat and tiny.
Right, you'd chop an onion quickly. But if you want to impress someone, dice it.
Got it. What else?
Boil classic. That one shows up in every kitchen. You boil water, boil eggs, boil rice.
That's a power word.
Don't forget simmer. Sounds gentle, right?
Yeah, kinda cozy.
It means keep something just below boiling. You simmer sauces, soups, slow soft bubbles.
I like that. Boil is wild. Simmer is chill.
Perfect way to remember. Now fry. Everyone knows that one.
Yeah, if you've ever made eggs, you've fried something.
Exactly. You can fry in oil, butter, or even just fat from meat. Then there's stir fry, fast cooking in a hot pan while you keep the food moving.
Like that sizzle toss thing.
Yep. Fast high heat, constant stirring. Super common in Asian cooking.
Okay, so we've got chop, dice, boil, simmer, fry, stir fry. This is already a full recipe.
Let's throw in grill.
Ooh, that's one I always confuse with roast. What's the difference?
Great question. Grill means cooking over direct heat flames. Gas or electric, it's fast and intense. Think barbecue. Roast means cooking in an oven with hot air around the food like a whole chicken.
Ah, so grill is fire, roast is oven.
Exactly. And then there's bake, which is also oven but usually for flour-based foods,
Like bread and cake?
right? You bake muffins, cookies, pies. But you roast meat or vegetables.
Okay, grill for meat on flames. Roast for meat in the oven. Bake for bread.
You got it? 3 heat styles. 3 verbs.
This is so much easier to learn when it's tied to real stuff. I've seen these words 100 times, but never really felt the difference.
That's why cooking is great for vocabulary. It makes everything stick.
Give me some flavor words.
All right. Spices, herbs, salt, pepper. You'll hear a pinch of salt a lot.
What's a pinch?
Just what your fingers can grab, a small amount.
I like that. It's very human.
It is now. There's sprinkle means to spread something lightly over food. You sprinkle sugar, salt, or herbs.
And that's usually at the end?
Most of the time, yeah. Now, let's add grease, not the movie.
Haha. Okay,
To grease a pan means to rub oil or butter on it so food doesn't stick.
useful. I've lost many pancakes to sticky pans.
Now you won't. And here's a fancy one, whisk.
That's for eggs, right?
Exactly. You whisk eggs, cream sauces. Fast circular motion helps mix air in.
It even sounds like the motion whisk whisk.
That's why it's easy to remember. Same with mash. Like mashed potatoes.
Yes. You mash bananas too, right?
Absolutely. You can mash anything soft.
Right, this is gold. My brain is cooking now.
Nice one.
So, John, now that we've got the words down, what's the grammar secret inside all that cooking talk?
Here's the big one. Britney cooking is full of simple present tense and commands. That's huge for beginners.
Simple present. That's like I cook you chopsy fries, right?
Exactly. You'll see it in recipes all the time. Boil water. Add pasta. Stir occasionally. Those are all imperative forms, short commands.
Oh, right. No subject, just the verb.
Yep. In English, when you give a command, you drop the subject. It's always you anyway. So instead of saying you stir the soup, you just say stir the soup.
That makes it feel easier. Cleaner.
Totally. And your brain starts to learn that structure naturally. You see it. Hear it say it. Over and over. That repetition teaches grammar without pressure.
Okay, what about is boiling or are baking? I hear that a lot too.
That's present continuous. It shows something happening right now. The water is boiling. The cookies are baking. It's great for describing live actions in the kitchen.
So boil, the water is a command. But the water is boiling is a description?
Exactly. That switch is important. You start to feel the difference. One gives an order. One tells what's going on.
Love it. What else is hiding in there?
Lots of can and should verbs. You'll hear phrases like, you can add more salt, or you should preheat the oven.
So modal verbs, soft suggestions.
Right. Can means possible, should means recommended. They help make the language more flexible and polite.
I never realized recipes were so polite.
Some are. Some just shout at you. Grill the meat. But others say, you can let it rest for 5 minutes.
That's nice. Gives you options.
Exactly. And then we've got sequencing. Big one.
What do you mean?
Words like first, then next, after that, finally. These are great for telling steps. They show time and order.
So like first preheat the oven, then mix the dough. After that, bake for 30 minutes.
Perfect example. That's clear, structured English. You're not just learning how to cook. You're learning how to explain something in order.
That's useful in so many areas.
Exactly. Giving directions, telling stories, explaining a process, all use this same pattern.
This is so sneaky. Recipes are like secret grammar lessons.
That's why they're so powerful. They give you patterns that stick.
What about negatives? Do they show up?
Sometimes you'll see things like, don't overmix or do not open the oven door while baking. Those are negative commands.
Oh, right. That's another way to teach grammar without a classroom.
Exactly. Real English in real use with real grammar baked in.
Pun intended?
Always.
Okay, John, we've got the words, the grammar. Now, how do I actually use this stuff in the real world?
That's where mental framing comes in. You want to start thinking in chunks, not word by word.
Chunks?
Yeah. Little bite-sized phrases your brain can grab fast. Like preheat the oven. Boil some water, chop the veggies. You don't think each word, you just think the whole unit.
Like muscle memory for the mouth.
Exactly. And cooking is full of those. They're like verbal habits. They train your brain to speak in smooth patterns.
So the more I use these little cooking phrases, the more natural English feels.
Yes, because they transfer. You learn add a pinch of salt. And now you can say add a pinch of humor or add a little kindness.
Ooh, that's fun. So cooking teaches flexible language?
Totally. Let's take let it rest. That's for steak bread, whatever. But you can also say, let the idea rest, or let your brain rest. The form stays useful.
That makes it so much easier to speak. I'm not building sentences from scratch. I'm just swapping ingredients.
Exactly. Same frame, new filling.
Okay, what's another one?
Whisk it all together. That's cooking talk. But you can also say whisk your thoughts together or whisk up a plan.
Love that. It's playful.
Now let's talk real life. You're in the kitchen with a friend. You say, "Could you peel those potatoes?" That's real English, useful and kind.
So, not just the verbs, but also the situations.
Right. Could you pass the salt? Do you want to help me dice the onions? These are real soft requests.
And I bet the more you say them, the more you feel confident asking for stuff outside the kitchen.
Exactly. That's mental framing. You take a situation cooking and you use it to grow habits. You can carry anywhere.
So, when I practice English while cooking, I'm also practicing how to give directions, ask for help, talk about steps.
And describe how things feel. Smell, taste. It's full body language.
I'm starting to get it now. Like I could take bake for 30 minutes and say wait for 30 minutes or rest for 30 minutes.
Yes, you're learning timing control, even patience, all through phrases.
It's also a safe space to mess up.
That's huge. No one's judging your grammar when you burn your toast.
Except maybe the smoke alarm.
Yeah, but it doesn't speak English.
Yet,
The key is to repeat the phrases out loud while you cook. Don't just read them, say them, "Now I'm chopping the garlic. This smells amazing." Time to flip the pancake.
it feels kind of silly at first, but then it gets fun.
Exactly. You're training your brain to talk and think in English at the same time. That's fluency.
Right, John, final question. What's the one phrase every English learner should practice while cooking?
I'd say, let's taste it.
Nice, short, useful, and always a good idea.
Exactly.